Hello one, hello all, it's your boy Scoobinho. Game of Thrones, season finale, series finale actually. Um, yeah. I got all my anger out and my frustrations. I vented out all after episodes 4 and 5 because those were just monstrosities. And, so that being said, I don't actually have that much to say that hasn't already been said by multiple people about this episode. So, I'm actually like struggling, like, I just can't comprehend. Like the Mad Queen story lasted 45, maybe a half hour. The Mad Queen storyline. Oh my god, yo, like this is what I can't comprehend for people that enjoy the series. And if you like the series, by the way, that's great. That's great for you. But just don't lash out at people like myself or people that are actually critiquing the show. Because this show this season has completely rushed everything. The Night King. Have we forgotten about that? Like, I mean, do we even remember the Night King? It feels so long ago. The fact that I have to sit here and complain about every other lapse in logic that this season has had, it just feels like the White Walkers and the Night King feels like so long ago. But regardless, they also dealt with Cersei last episode, and now we're dealing with the Mad Queen storyline, something that had no build up whatsoever. There are seeds and foreshadowing moments, but like a lot of people have stated before me, foreshadowing is not developing a character or a storyline. By the way, this Mad Queen storyline, 45 minutes, and then we just see it pay off with Jon killing her, just like that. Before Dany actually dies, though, she does have a really cool speech in Valyrian. All the cinematography, all the shots in that scene I actually like. The speech I like as well. That shot, the shots have been going around on Twitter and Reddit of Drogon, flying behind her with the wings. I for a second, I got scared. For a second, I thought Dany was growing wings, but that is, regardless of my initial reaction, that is a fantastic shot. Everything about this season, like technically speaking, phenomenal, and of course the actors' performances as well. The only thing that has been completely subpar is the writing. It's killed the season for me, and anyone that will ask me what's wrong with me or why I think that the writing is so bad, I want you to just watch episodes 1 through 4 and then compare it to this season. Like, it just is not the same. We're talking about battles and storylines being rushed for the sake of the story, and it's just not the same. 6 episodes for 3 major storylines was never going to be enough, and D&D just rushed it just so they can finish off Star Wars, or start Star Wars, man. I do like the moment when Tyrion finds Cersei and Jaime, even though, like, during episode 5, it looked like they completely got crushed, but in this episode, it looks like they just got crushed by a few not pebbles, but actual rocks, but it looks like if they just moved a little bit to the right or to the left, they would have been completely fine. Regardless, Tyrion, of course, Peter Dinklage did an amazing performance. Those are the few things I liked, the cinematography, performances, that speech that Dany has to her Unsullied and Dothraki, and then everything else I hated. Can we talk about Dany actually dying? Because I don't know about you guys, but that was so corny, so cheesy, man. Like, what is this? Since when were people dying like this in Game of Thrones? And that's a genuine question, because I actually don't remember. If something happened as corny as this in previous episodes, then my bad. But Jon saying, "You are my queen," today and always, and then stabbing her with some like melodramatic music happening in the background. Oh my god, man. How, that was just the corniest thing. Oh my god. The fact that Jon was allowed up there with Dany by herself after Grey Worm clearly saw him, second guessing Dany's war tactics or motivations. I just can't understand it for the life of me. Things just happening, man, for the sake of the story. Just to wrap up the Mad Queen story and wrap up the series. Here's the thing that kind of pisses me off. Like, they took the first half hour of the show to just wrap up, put a bow on the Mad Queen story. Just kill Dany, and then let's just finish the show after that. And that's exactly what happens. I also want to point out that Arya went to King's Landing for no reason. No reason whatsoever. She was literally a few steps away from Cersei, and then Sandor told her not to go there. I do like that moment, but I just can't see Arya just turning back when Cersei's right there. And then, the scene with the horse that came later in that episode was just literally for nothing. Just more things on Arya's highlight reel. Jon kills Dany. Drogon kills the Iron Throne. I actually don't have too much to say about that. I didn't think Drogon was gonna light up Jon, even though he probably should have. But because Jon is a Targaryen, which the show writers forgot, by the way, because he just gets screwed in the end. And then we get to the scene where they're about to reveal the new king of the Seven Kingdoms, and they have all the powerful lords sitting around, people making comebacks. I wouldn't have liked for Sansa to be the king of the Seven Kingdoms or queen of the Seven Kingdoms. My bad. But I thought of everyone sitting there, it made the most sense. But then Tyrion, who is a prisoner, by the way, is running this meeting. By the way, I don't know why Grey Worm didn't kill Tyrion and Jon right then and there. Like, the fact that Jon literally put a dagger into Dany's chest, and then Grey Worm, who was literally killing, somewhat innocent Lannister soldiers at the beginning of the episode for no reason. Like, the fact that he doesn't kill Jon for stabbing his queen, like, is anyone believing that? Why is... The more I think about it, like, the more mad I get, but I'm trying to be tame. Anyway, then Tyrion, like I said, Tyrion's running the meeting, and then he points to Bran and says, Bran, you should be the king of the Seven Kingdoms. And then Bran says literally the most offensive line that I've heard in a while. He says, why do you think I came all this way? Oh, last season he said, I'm not Lord of anything. I can't, or something along those lines, I can't be Lord of anything, when someone tells him that he's the rightful heir to Ned Stark's throne at Winterfell. And then he pulls out this line out of his ass. It just doesn't make any sense. They just, here's the thing. They gave every Stark a happy ending. Technically, think about it, because Jon Snow isn't even a Stark. They gave every Stark a good ending or a happy ending. So they was like, okay, Sansa's going to be Queen of the North. They just made her want to declare Winterfell free for no reason whatsoever, because Bran is literally king of the Seven Kingdoms. I'm sure they would have a good relation regardless. They make her Queen of Winterfell. Bran, king of the Seven Kingdoms, Six Kingdoms rather. And then Arya lives up to her, saying that she's not a lady, so she's going to just go west of Westeros, possibly getting her own spinoff. Every Stark gets a happy ending. It's just something that I could never see George R.R. Martin do based on the first 4 seasons of the show. As soon as Bran became the Three-Eyed Raven, they never knew what to do with this character. That's a big example in this season, because he doesn't do anything. Like, at the Battle of Winterfell, he was literally just waiting to die. Jon... And this is something that George R.R. Martin kind of touched on when he was talking about the story, or talking about the show. He said that when there are foreshadowing moments to a certain endgame, and then you kind of change it midway through, I don't know, it just comes off as bad writing, lazy writing, and people are able to point out inconsistencies in your writing. And that is the case with Jon Snow, aka Aegon Targaryen, who was the rightful heir to this throne, and then he just gets written off into the Night's Watch, which has no meaning whatsoever. I feel like they think that was like the unexpected twist, or like the unhappy ending, but he just walks away with Tormund and Ghost in the end, so it kind of is a happy ending for him. It also is a shitty ending for him, because he was supposed to be the king of the Seven Kingdoms. He was the rightful heir. When I was writing down my notes, I wasn't as mad. I didn't think I was going to be as mad as I spoke about this series finale, but the thing is that this season, man, just was the most rushed thing I've ever seen in my life. We really got robbed of a good and decent ending. This story, these 6 episodes needed at least 2 more seasons. And I'm talking 2 10-episode seasons. Like, this is just ridiculous. The fact that they fit in these 3 major stories, Night King, Cersei, and the Mad Queen, in 6 episodes just blows me away. And to see it collapse, like, so spectacularly is just... It's just really disappointing, man. And like I said, D&D just completely robbed the fans of a decent ending, because this is just not a good season. And it sucks, because the Game of Thrones before this was, seasons 1 through 4, and, season 6 somewhat were spectacular in my opinion. Some of the best TV I've ever seen in my life. So to see it not stick the landing really hurts as a fan. So that's the reason why people have been so vocal about their dislike for the season. But like I said, I actually don't have that much to say. I didn't write down as many notes as I did for episode 5. And if I actually shot a video for episode 4, I would have been talking for at least an hour. But yeah, I think what had happened was I was just so let down and disappointed by episodes 4 and 5 that I was just like deflated. I was like, all right, whatever comes and whatever happens, happens. I compared this season to, and this finale particularly, to the prequels of Star Wars, because I feel like in the prequels of Star Wars, everyone will say that Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is clearly the best of the bunch. And I think that is, like, so clearly the story. That is the story of Anakin turning to the dark side. That's the story that George Lucas wanted to tell. He just needed one movie, and then, that one movie was it. He knew the end game, and he just knew how to write the final piece. And I think that this is the same for this episode, because the episode, if we're honest, the whole episode isn't horrible. It's just we just don't like how we got here. And it's the same thing that goes with season 7. They knew that they wanted to kill Littlefinger. They gave a shit leading up to that point. They knew that they wanted to involve Cersei into the Great War, and they just wrote one of the worst episodes of all time leading up to that, which was, the one Beyond the Wall. But I don't feel like talking anymore about this season or this episode. Yeah. Game of Thrones, Season 8, season finale, series finale. What did you think? Get in the comments. Let me know. Are you disappointed? Because I sure as hell am. Did you actually like the season? Because if you did, I want to hear from you. Like I said, get into the comments. If you are new around here, subscribe for more. And if you like this video, give it a like. I am Scoobingo from the 5th Row. I appreciate you if you've been subscribed, and I'm gone.